Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson. This is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
And tonight we're reviewing a movie that just came out this last month, titled Deadstream, that was released in 2022, as you well know.
So actually, at the 6th of October, new. I believe it was released.
Yeah, in other words, last month.
Yeah, 6th of October 2022. So, hence to say, it is hot off the printing press.
Exactly so. And this one, Mike and I both agree that this one's more comedy than horror.
It's supposed to be a supernatural horror comedy, but I think it's a supernatural. It's a supernatural horror comedy. I think it should be more of a supernatural comedy horror because there's more comedy than horror in it.
I agree.
However, it is done in a light-hearted fashion.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Yeah. It makes me think of all the film influences I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with. Let me see. It makes me think of Zach King, Ollie Buckley, and Dr. Dredd. These guys are really hilarious, and they have some really good creativity. And I advise just check them out when you can, guys.
Now, having said that, we don't know too much about budget. However, I believe by the look of it, I think it's a low budget production, but done reasonably well considering budget constraints. How's that? Now, what reason I say that? Because I'm looking at it. It's only one building, centered around two actors.
Exactly so.
And the actor, Joseph Winter, also was one of the writers. He is one of the directors.
And
I'm sure he made lunch for everybody when he had a moment, and he edited it. He did the music for it. So I got a funny feeling that Joseph and his assistant or co-director or whatever, Joseph and Vanessa, maybe husband and wife team, possibly,
or sister or brother. We're not sure.
Don't know. They did this together.
Yeah. And there are like a lot of people.
And this is their first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, their directorial debut. So, having said that, I think if this is the first cab off the rank, they've done pretty damn good.
Yeah, anyway, I'm not sure what kind of budget they had, but from what I understand, I think it was a low-budget type film, maybe.
Well, I just said, if you're listening to it, I hope these other people out there are listening.
And I don't even know what kind of camera was... Like, throughout this movie, we see GoPro cameras to the walls.
Honestly, I think the GoPros were there, obviously, because if you were doing a real psychic investigation in a haunted house, you would have GoPro cameras or wirelessly connected to a computer so you can have a look at what's going on and monitor the rooms. But for the sake of the movie itself, I'd say they had a halfway decent camera, at least a good DSLR or a mirrorless camera, or or even a Black Magic. I got one of those, and So I know, but it's a good clear picture. It's been done well. To me, I don't like fan footage a lot, but this one's one of the better ones.
Yeah, every time I watch this, I mean, when I watched this movie for the first time yesterday, which we watched it, it got me laughing so hard, really. I mean, I wasn't scared. There was some really funny there was a lot of funny bits. I wasn't scared or anything like that.
Joseph is a very funny man. He made it happen. I think he might be a naturally funny man. And so he actually brought the movie to life, pardon the pun. Seeing as people were dying around,
just himself being tormented by the house.
But the way he reacted to it, he came as a real pussy, and so it's pretty much a one-man show. But there was another person, Melanie Stone, who acted as somebody who came in there and joined in for a bit, but she had a hidden agenda, and she disappeared quite quickly.
Oh, I should mention, guys.
She played a double role.
Yeah, she did. In this, I also want to bring up, guys, that aside from this movie that she did this year, she released this year, she also did one of the new VHS, movies that just came out this year.
Okay, cool.
We just reviewed last podcast. I mean,
well, again, she gets around, doesn't she?
Which she did look familiar to me. I kept rattling my brain several times. I felt like she looks so damn familiar. Have I seen her in any movies I may have reviewed?
Yeah.
So I went back and checked her portfolio and found out that she was from the VHS latest movies.
Now, I normally do the distribution stuff later on.
Okay, go for it.
This was distributed by Shudder, and I believe what Sarah says, you can stream it on Shudder, or you can see it on Amazon Prime as rental. At the moment, it's not on eBay and it's not up for sale that I can find anywhere. Obviously, it's quite new. It will probably show up in other locations later on.
The one thing I didn't find out is whether or not they really filmed inside this actual establishment.
I think they found an old house they said not to run around in.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Honestly, to me it looked like that because they did the outside shots and the inside shots, and I think it looks about right. But no, it looked good and it felt good when they're doing it. So and then watching it was again, I don't like found footage movies that much, but this one was quite good. So do you want to? I don't think anything I can say before. Well, he produced it, directed him and his wife or girlfriend or whatever, wife or sister, written, directed, produced by Jared Cook, Vanessa and Joseph Winter, and Melanie Stone, who is also one of the actors. So that's why I think it's a low budget job. Yeah,
you do get to see a few faces here and there, like a few. They did in Spree, where you see the comments along the side of the the screen.
Your streamer has a streaming comments on the side.
Yeah, in this one, it has a few video commentaries from fans. Like a few fans send out a video telling them, "Oh, you shouldn't do this. No, you shouldn't do that. You should check this. You should check this video out because and all that stuff."
The cinematography was done by one of the producers. So there's only about 1, 2, 3. There's 4 people involved in this production.
Yeah.
Who produced it, directed it, wrote it, filmed it.
Yeah, there was a few cooks involved in this one.
Yeah,
and, including one of the people being called Cook, and I think they're related too.
You got Jared Cook and Jared Cook. Who's the other one? Whatever.
And I think that they even dedicated this movie to another cook in the
someone passed away.
I think someone passed away.
Anyway,
this is like a family film project.
Well, yes, that's awesome. Friends got together to do it, but I think it's a low budget, but it's not too bad for a low budget.
Yeah. Anyway,
tell them the story.
Okay, the story begins.
We're getting bored now.
This guy's named Sean, who's an influencer, who's not going so well because he's pissed off a lot of people along the way.
And he did a few naughty things and stuff. And he got barred from doing stuff.
But now he's back, and he wants to continue his attempts at trying to scare him, get over his fear. See, that's what his message in his channel is, trying to get over these fearful stunts.
Address your fears. Do something that scares you. And he says, "Wait." And this one is, "I'm going to spend a night in a haunted house." Ooh. Actually, just stopping there for a minute. Sarah had an opportunity a couple of years ago to join a psychic or
like a ghost adventures, whatever.
A ghost adventures sort of crowd here in Australia to go and visit haunted places and stay the night and do videos. Yeah. And she declined.
Well, actually, the guy in charge, the interviewer, he contacted me, phoned me up, and he asked me, would I be prepared for this type of ghost adventure thing? He was like talking me out of it, more likely, scaring me out of the whole prospects of actually spending.
Do you need to take a couple of pairs of undies and change into if you get scared?
Because he kept going on about how you have to prepare your soul, because you never know if a ghost may attach itself to you when you leave a haunted house, and it follows you back home and may start haunting you.
I don't want to knock all those ghost shows like Ghost Adventures and Haunting Australias and different other places. A lot of those sites aren't that haunted. They go there because they've been reported to be haunted. Sometimes you might get a supernatural occurrence happening there, but a lot of the time it's hearsay.
Anywho,
So you wouldn't have had too many problems, I don't think.
So this guy, he wants to go to this haunted house to experience the experience. He gets the experience up.
You get the experience. I have challenged my fear, and I've come up winning. That sort of stuff.
Yeah. He then goes to the spot. He takes out his car plugs, whatever they call them.
To protect himself from himself, he went and took 2 spark plugs out of these motor.
Yeah.
And he threw them into the bushes.
Ridiculous.
Oh, what a smart boy. Yes.
Yeah.
You need them later on.
Yeah, this is one of many things that he's, sadly enough, does that is really risky and a bit dangerous. If I were him, I would have kept them in the car for safekeeping.
I would have put them somewhere so he couldn't get to them easily. Not just from bushes like, well, I don't need them. How is he going to get home in the morning?
Exactly, Mike, exactly. So
and then he goes inside.
He takes the crowbar and opens it from the back, and he takes a padlock and locks the door, and then he throws the key down the grate. I mean,
it looks like a grate or something. It goes down to lower levels. Went to some, like a drainage pit or something.
And Mike says this makes a good point. How the hell is he going to get out of there?
And he couldn't find the key. It wasn't there in the morning.
Exactly.
Or before morning, he couldn't find it. It was gone.
It's a big, dangerous risk. I know that his risks are his game, but I don't like being stupid when it comes to risks.
But, if everything he did was stupid, he made blunder after blunder, being very, very nice here.
Yeah. He takes some GoPro cameras and starts putting them in different parts of the places. Most of them, places where they had the most spooky bits here and there.
And one was outside to make sure anything was happening outside the place, and
like
some
police
in some hallways.
Activity.
And he had this not a laptop, an iPad.
I think it's one of those special filmmaker screen things that allows you to keep tabs on all the cameras that you've set up.
A bit like an iPad or something rather.
Yeah, I've seen professionals use them all the time. Usually attached to their bigger camera that they use, like the Red Dragons or those other awesome big cameras that they use.
And they have this bigger screen next to them so you can see what's going on.
Yes. Anyway, he puts the GoPros in the hallway, in the guest bedroom,
in the bathroom,
and a kiddie room. Just so you guys know, this haunted house is spooked by a woman named Mildred, a spooky woman who's possibly killed 2 babies and 3 children. And according to Sean, she's been trying to create a family for herself, but unfortunately things got very dangerous and dark and stuff like that. Anyway, he sets himself up in a sort of a room that's not really a completely spooky. room.
He said his safe room was a room which didn't have any reported hauntings in it.
In the closet, he discovers a sort of symbolic hand illustration that he destroys the moment he gets in there. Thinks that this is a satanic symbol, therefore must be get rid of at once. Not even bothering to do his homework, which is a bit stupid. Other people did their homework about the symbol, but he didn't.
Well, he didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, true.
You think he would have had a laptop there or something?
I would have at least bothered to study.
He had a laptop there, didn't he?
Yeah. I would have at least have studied Satan's symbols before I snapped and broke it. Anyway, he starts seeing creepy occurrences, and along the way, he meets this girl named Chelsea. Is that my name is? Chelsea? Chrissy, sorry. I don't know why I said Chelsea. I mean, Chrissy. And she's a big fan of his. Chelsea. And they then head into the basement, or a hidden door in the basement.
They found a hidden doorway and a very skinny stairwell going to a basement room. Yes.
They head in there and they find a chest and they open it. and there we see, let me see, a few bits of clothing and a little teeny weeny box that I thought was. I mean, most of the stuff there looks like it's not really totally damaged or anything like that. You would think
a bit more dust than
you would think that the chest itself on the outside would have gotten a little bit of
more dust on it,
little dust, or maybe a bit of
mildew,
or maybe a bit of paint picked off over the years.
Couple spiders crawling.
Something.
Well,
I don't know.
It looked too clean.
It would look too clean. I mean, considering it was inside a room that no one even knew of.
Right, the cleaners have been in, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that makes sense. Anyway, he takes the little box and puts it in his pocket, and then they head upstairs where they conduct a small seance. And they record it, and they start asking the Ouija board, which he has a Ouija board, and he asks them, the ghosts of the past, to reveal themselves or tell them some things. And when it didn't happen, then she suggests to say some special magical summoning words.
So, yeah, well, it's in
Latin, I
or
think.
something, yeah.
And so they did. And I should mention Mildred is a poetess, and she tried to write, crappy poems. They actually found in the box, I should mention, they found a collection of poems in this little book they found inside the chest thing.
The boy's still on a burning deck. No.
The crown of sausages around his neck.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, guys, that's not really one of the poems. Anyway, so the ghosts want one of them to go upstairs to check out the spookiness upstairs. Sean doesn't want to. He's a total fraidy cat.
He's a pussycat, yeah.
Throughout he does not want to do what the comments say. They keep saying, "You're a wimp. I'm leaving.
A wuss. I'm going home. I'm
going home. I'm going to sign off before I go to bed." Anyway,
bugger.
He gets Chrissy to go upstairs, and as she's going up there, she's wearing a GoPro camera on her head.
Yeah.
Most of this, throughout this series, throughout this movie, they got a lot of GoPro equipment, which I'm familiar with. The GoPro headsets the head strap thing, the special harness that you wear around your waist, stuff like that. I haven't worn the harness myself because I think it's not really really good to get a good shot.
On with it?
Anyway, so they head in. So as they go, she goes upstairs, and then somehow the footage gets all staticky.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at the other cameras, like the ones in the hallway, the bathroom, the bedrooms. There is no sign of her, which is beginning to be weird. And as we go up, he then goes up there himself, and he confronts her about it. She says that she's hidden away, that there's no way she could have hid herself, away because he's already gone through the house. I mean, those parts
with all the cameras and stuff, and
she couldn't have just vanished in the thin air. And
was she really Mildred?
Yeah, she finally admits that she's not what she seemed, and starts attacking Sean, bites into him. And Sean realizes the danger he's in, so he has to make an escape, which he tries.
Actually, just saying that, there's a note here. So she might be secretly Mildred. He finds a severed finger in a grate, and a picture revealing that Chrissy is actually Mildred.
Yeah, that was inside the little bitty box.
I don't know what the picture was there. I didn't pay much attention. So Chrissy was actually Mildred.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah. Anyway, so he finds it inside the little box I mentioned much later, and there's a little finger which kind of does give you an explanation of what happened later on. Anyway, he tries to make a daring escape through the window of the nursery. That's the only window that's not boarded up.
Yeah, lucky.
Strange.
First floor, not the ground floor. Has to be the first floor. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the people, his fans, sent videos telling him that what she said during the seance was not really a ritual to
protect them.
More like offering your souls to the devil or to the spirits within the
Well, it's
house.
actually something. The Latin phrase they recited was a soul offering that Mildred had used to bind the souls of the previous occupants to herself.
Ooh.
Ah,
yes.
There you go.
And
not knowing Latin, who does?
Yeah. And also, there was another video there that's of an old lady who says that satanic. Oh wait, it was a little boy who said that the picture that was drawn in the closet was actually a protection symbol from evil.
Yeah, some sort of a hand.
So the last occupant there has put it there as a protection.
Himself. Yeah, and then
he's just ripped it up and damaged it.
And then the little old lady was saying something about that protection. He damaged it. Says, "Oh, you're screwed," or something, isn't she?
Yeah, you're going to die tonight.
Yeah, right.
But she tells him the only way to stop them is
quite funny, actually.
An offer of flesh or blood, whatever they call it.
Blood.
He then tries to hide and tries to get the audience at home to contact the police
and get the police there to save him.
He tries to find the plugs for his car.
Yeah, he got outside. Yeah,
he gets outside. He jumps. I don't know how many stories.
Yeah, from the first level down to the ground and hurt his leg a bit. However, and he found his spark plugs. However,
he meets the sheriff supposedly, but it's not the sheriff as it turns out.
It's a ghoul.
Yeah, and he heads inside the car and he tries his screen thing is damaged. I guess.
Broke it.
And he doesn't know whether or not there might be some other people He left his laptop inside, along with any other equipment he needs to get to contact the outside world. And
so, like a good man he is, he goes back inside.
Yeah, he takes one of his ghost kit, which his mum prepared for him, across holy water, garlic. Give me a break.
Garlics only work for vampires.
Yeah, I don't know who put this kit together, but they obviously never bothered to actually.
But she didn't put a chains of underwear in there for him or anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh. He straps the little knife on the end of a broomstick.
With gaffer tape. That work. No, duct tape, sorry.
And he straps really also a GoPro camera on the very stick.
So we can see things.
Yeah, so if he gets to see a ghost in front of him, even though most of the time we don't see the ghost, we sometimes...
Sometimes you can see it on the camera. And you don't see it with your eyes.
Yeah, most of the time the ghosts want to be seen. Other times they don't.
They want to be famous, just like anybody else. They want the 5 minutes of fame, you know.
Anyway, he heads inside and he tries to confront Mildred, but... She even tries to possess him a couple of times to get him to drown himself or something. And eventually, but luckily enough, he gets control. But he gets attacked by some more ghoul things. They're really creepy.
Yeah, really good. There you go. Did they get mentioned in the credits?
Yeah, they do in the credits, in the film credits.
They get mentioned on my notes here, but I'm glad. The sorry old man over there in the corner, he got a mention.
Yeah, anyway, he tries to rewrite the special design on the floor of the safe room, and he tries to get Mildred to come in there and, do her wicked thing. And unfortunately, he, according to them, the story, I think the ghosts don't really care about what he's got to say, so they don't want to go in there, and Mildred definitely does not want to just cackles merrily. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. The only way he can he found in her journal a piece of paper that says what you have to say, in order to summon the spirits and they become your followers. I don't know how it works. I don't know why he does it this way. I would have loved it if there was a ritual where you can make the spirits go away. He gets the audience at home to translate it for him so he knows what he's saying, of course.
Yes, as one would.
Because we don't want the same mistake happening twice, do we?
Yeah, but there was... it had to be a sacrifice of flesh as well,
wasn't it? Yeah, he has... See, we seen. Remember what I told you guys about how there's a finger, her finger. Well, that finger was actually she chopped it off so she could appease the demons in the other world, sort of thing, as a bit of an offering. So it's up to Sean to do the very same thing to appease the demons and be able to transfer Mildred's souls to him. I don't know how that works.
No, here it is. Okay, right. He put all the pieces together. He realises Mildred never wanted a family but an audience for her poetry.
See?
He becomes inspired to complete the ritual to circumvent her power through his own audience and send her back to hell. That's what he's trying to do by completing the ritual.
So he does just do the ritual, and eventually the crate from below kind of comes to life and zaps her to hell. And we hear a loud burp.
Burp. Yeah, like that.
Type of thing.
One of those.
It's disgusting. And he says, "We won! Yay, we won!" Ooh.
However...
But we forget one thing.
There wasn't an escape clause after all.
Yeah. It turns out the other ghouls are still there.
They're bound to him now.
No.
And they're not going to let him get away.
And as he tries to leave, one of the ghouls is outside, and then we cut the video cuts dead.
Yeah, Deadstream.
And where the video ends.
Didn't come say Deadstream or something or other?
Well, yeah, just video ends or something. Or offline or whatever.
Offline or something or other. And that's because we believe at that point in time he became one with the house.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
It is... Anyway, as I was saying, this, while it may sound scary off
fade to black?
Yeah, it fades to black. It may sound scary to use, guys, on paper, but to me,
it's funny.
It's weird, especially the screams and the cries he makes. It makes me think.
He acts like a real pussy.
It makes me think of that time me and Lina, we went to Evil Corp, a special maze thing.
Horror maze.
In Fortitude Valley. And there...
That's in Brisbane.
We would both scream, and I kind of laughed my head off a little bit here and there. And
you had zombies and guys like Leatherface and stuff
people
out of Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, it was really good. It was fun. It doesn't scare me. I'm not scared of anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sarah and her friend Alana screamed their tits off all the way through it. It was really good.
I kind of thought it was very funny. Anyway, this is what makes me think of that.
Yeah.
Because his screaming makes me want to laugh my head off sometimes.
Yeah. So it's not like... It's like you get a really good horror movie. Remember back in the olden days, Universal Studios did Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman, and they scared the titties off everybody. And then after a couple of years, they were running out of ideas, so they threw them over to Abbott and Costello, who were also on the same lot, and they made a comedy out of it. Well, get the idea. The horror became a comedy and became very, very funny, just because of a couple of extra lines, some antic spice and comedians. And this is what this one does. This could have easily been a horror movie.
Yeah, it would be.
Easily.
Yeah. But I guess we've had our fair share of found footage movies that deal with haunted houses. Yeah, and I guess they wanted something different.
Do a light-hearted one. And it was good. I think these guys, this group of 4 or 5 people, have done a good job. I can't say anything more. I mean, Joseph and Vanessa wrote a good script. They directed a good movie. And Joseph isn't afraid of making a total fool of himself in front of the camera. Because he came over as a real wussy guy and everything else. You bet it's really hard to be a clown sometimes. Yeah. And Melanie Stone, she's been a couple of things, and Jared. So there's only about 5 people involved in this, I think.
Yeah.
4 or 5, yeah. And wow, what you can do on a limited budget with limited people. Hey, look, you can all go to the film shoot in one car.
That's true.
Yeah. I didn't even mention audio.
Really? I would have thought that audio would have been up there.
No, I was going to say that what I would say is probably they use mainly a shotgun microphone on the camera in most cases. And he was talking close up to the camera all the time.
Yeah.
So he probably didn't need to have an audio guy for boomstick. So maybe they just relied on the camera.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting that his character was very bizarre and weird.
He
and
was a coward. Let's face it.
Even after he's done so many interesting stunts, like he went down a rapids and
in a raft with blankets packed around so he wouldn't get too damaged.
Without any rowing things.
No oars, no.
No oars, no nothing.
He should have gone over Niagara Falls in the barrel. That's been done.
Yeah. And off screen he did a fight with a homeless man, I think.
Yeah,
and
he got
into big trouble for that one.
Because the guy wasn't that well.
Yeah, he got in trouble for that one. Yeah, he even mentioned in an apologise video in the beginning where he says his sincere apologies, but not a very he wasn't really well received apology one.
No, because
I mean, he did eventually, when he was in a tizzy, really scared, that he did feel bad about what he did, and he wished that he could take it all back and all that stuff.
And so, but too little, too late.
Too late. And now he's part of the house itself.
Well, actually, quite funny.
Never know.
He came, Rose Red,
Yes.
that lady,
Yes.
who was the psychic investigator lady. At the end of that movie, she became part of the house too. Actually, we're not going to do Rose Red, are we?
We might one day.
Yeah, Rose Red. Ooh, I like that one. That's probably not the scariest show I've ever seen, but gee, it's good.
It has something going for it.
It's really well done. Yeah.
Anyway, this one has, I guess, a lot of prosthetic or special effects makewp.
There weren't lots of close-ups, but there were bits more like flashes of a couple of seconds here, a couple of seconds there. It wasn't too bad. For what it was, I believe a low-budget movie, it came over really, really good. And if I was wearing a hat, I would take my hat up to them. Okay. So there you go.
Yeah, my theory at the end was that now that Mildred was out of the picture, the spirits are free to continue haunting the place without her control over them.
But the problem is he's bound the spirits to him, and he's a new he's a new controller. He has that's his new followers.
That's
really what as well. They were looking for. She was collecting
souls to
followers, so who would be able to appreciate her poetry, and he had his followers appreciating his film footage.
And now
streaming.
Now he'll never come back.
Yeah, but you going to make another movie soon? No, my camera's broken.
And
there you go.
I think he's going to be stuck in the house forever
until the next
and ever.
person comes in there to make another film
or something.
Can I do the audio for you? No?
Yeah, I did like watching them bringing in actual cameras I'm familiar with. I mean, I know I said that in Spree that they had GoPro cameras, but it was hard to make out if they were GoPro cameras when I was looking at them. But in this film, you could tell right away that they were GoPro cameras. It was
and actually.
And not just a mobile phone or something.
No. But look, some mobile phones are crap. But the better ones, they make a reasonably good picture, but it's not very easy to have them around. But the GoPro's actually set up for it better with that tablet sort of thing he's using. But if I was going to make a movie like that, I would actually, I would usually go, a real movie, like a haunted house sort of thing, I would actually use a GoPro set up like that. And one of those tablet sort of things, and along with the real camera, like the Black Magic or Red Dragon or whatever, because it works so good, and you're looking at it, it's better than CCTV, but so it's quite good actually, and you're going to expect a sort of grunty picture a little bit, of course it's been done with the GoPro. It's not top quality like a real good camera, so it works. I think it's fine.
I thought he was kind of weird, that guy. I mean, Joshua was completely funny. Joseph, sorry. I don't know why I said that.
He's thinking Joshua Kennedy or somebody.
Sorry.
Probably.
Sorry.
One of our heroes.
Anyway, Joseph was pretty weird in this production.
I know he's funny, man. I've said it before. Look, I can't say too much more without repeating myself.
Yeah, and I have no trivia to mention about.
We can't find too much, which is a shame because I think really I would like to know whether they actually did it in a real house. I think they did.
Yeah, and I would like to know the budget restraints they may have had.
How much they got away? Because that thing we did that VHS one the other day, I looked at their budget and for all the movies combined was only about $500,000. For all the movies put together.
Yeah.
Because they did it really on skinny.
Yeah, and most of them would use their own homes or...
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Or any person...
Any of you on a low to no budget doesn't mean you can't do it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. I mean, I'd really like to know how much they spent on this just to find out, if they found an old house, they got permission to use it, and some of the furniture's already there, it's just hiring some equipment. Like the cameras and stuff to put in there.
Yeah, exactly. Considering that most of these found footage movies, and I mean those anthology found footage, they usually pick not too many spots around the place. They just usually shoot in one or two places, and then that's where we follow.
Maximise their.
And that's
maximize the. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all, and we we follow them throughout the very same spot all through the production.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's read this now because I don't have anything else to add.
I'm going to be quite surprising you.
Okay.
Again, I don't like found footage, but I like this one, and I think it's been done well.
I think so.
I reckon it's a top. I think it's the top of the found footage that I have seen recently. So I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Yeah, just same thing with me too, guys. Yeah. I watched Hell. I mean, I've seen the Hell House, and I've seen the houses October built. They deal with the found footage stuff.
Yeah.
And I've seen VHS already, and well, I do think this one.
This is top of the pile.
It's not top of the pile for me, but
I
think it's pretty much it's getting to the in the right area somewhere.
It's near the apex. How's that?
Yeah. So I can't really say it's over the top. I mean, it's still different, but a good kind of different.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Anyway, I'm gonna say 9.5 out of 10 for me.
9.5. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. There were some things I didn't like about it, but other than that, I did like the funny jump scares and the
it's
funny
cool.
moments of watching him being a coward.
Yeah, he may if he's not really a funny man, he covered it quite well. But I think he's probably a funny man in reality, so that's why he played the role. So
yeah.
I think he and his partner Vanessa wrote it for him. Yeah, this would be a really good movie. You could do this. You could be the wussy guy. Yeah, right. Yeah, and I reckon they actually wrote it with him in mind, so he knew what he'd get up to and how he could deliver a scene and whatever. Yeah.
If you guys notice, sometimes in movies like this, like the Houses of October built, those guys who were filming it were the directors and writers for it. So this is the same sort of thing over again with a bunch of filmmakers deciding to put themselves in a film project. I mean, I wouldn't do it myself because I don't have any acting skills. My acting is limited when it comes to
a body bag works well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Toe tag.
I mean, I could probably pull off playing a background extra if I'm not too heavily distracted by the camera.
When you're sitting in the back there having a milkshake or a cup of coffee or something,
If I'm distracted by something else, like maybe a book or maybe a laptop or maybe just having lunch right there
having a BLT or something,
then I could probably concentrate on that.
Yeah.
But again, as I said, if the camera's trained on me, it's a little hard to focus sometimes on that particular object. Sometimes.
Don't look at the camera. Don't look at the camera. And what do? You look straight at the camera because everyone says don't look at the camera.
Yeah. Anyway, that's about it for me. I mean, as I said before, you can see it on Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder and Amazon Prime has it for rent at the moment, but. It's a newbie. You probably, if you wait just a little bit, another couple of weeks, you might be able to pick a copy up on eBay or other places, as it be. I reckon they'll actually print it off somewhere.
Yeah, I think reckon too.
Yeah, well, I won't say hard copies, but they're downloadable copies of it.
Yeah.
Whatever, but or both. Yeah.
So that's about it for us, guys. I don't have any more fact finds to tell you guys. I wish that I could.
But this is their first, and for a first,
it's a good one.
They've done pretty damn good. So I would say give it a go if you don't mind found footage. It's a fun haunted house type story, which I think you will like.
It's quite different from Never Hike Alone, which is another found footage related short film project. What?
That was a scary one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was scary and really entertaining.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about it for us tonight, guys. Be sure to check it out. You know where. And so this is Sarah Stephenson.
And Moral.
Saying see you guys around on Boys and Ghouls Film Review. See you guys next time. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.